little time to regroup and enjoy friends and family. So as we move forward in this relatively simple and short meeting this evening, has everybody had a chance to read the minutes from November?
Roll call.
Oh, pardon me, roll call. Could we get roll call, please?
Chairperson Denise Menino.
Here?
Member Dory Larson.
Here?
Member Taylor Mandalou. Is not. Member Carol Mickett.
Present.
And Member Robin Sanger.
Here.
And alternate member Siobhan Nehan. Is that how we?
Siobhan.
Okay. She did just get sworn in today, I believe.
Oh, good.
So I'll track down her contact information and communicate moving forward. And then Assistant Director of Public Services, Thomas Kiger.
Here.
Okay. We're good.
Awesome, thank you very much.
You don't have to read your name.
Do I? Oh, okay. I
Yes.
guess not.
The roll call is actually just for the
We
members,
wouldn't
but you
be
can read my
hearing
name.
the roll
Okay,
call
well-
if she was missing.
There were others. So, okay. I will not call your name anymore.
That's fine.
So has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes?
And I did, when I was rewatching our last meeting in December, we had a correction from the October minutes because, Dr. Mickett wanted it to be reflected correctly that she was an excused absence. And so, you do in your packet have a copy of those October 19th minutes as well. So we'll
Okay.
probably have to do two motions to approve. But you have already received the November ones. You got those digitally. I printed out a copy of the October ones as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
And the new agenda reflects that.
okay. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from November 16th?
I move.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And October 19th was the only correction. They were approved with the correction of Dr. Mickett's excused absence. So do we have a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
There you go.
And it does not appear that we have anyone from the public to make comments tonight, but as always, and anybody that is connected to sustainability, interested in sustainability, we welcome your presence, and we would hope that eventually we have bubbling over audience of people in the community that want to be involved. So that's my intention. I'm putting it out. Year 2024.
I'll chime in.
Yeah.
Okay. Any discussion of the internal recycling initiatives we received?
Yeah. So
Jordan, please
I
present it.
Thank you. I have a little, just a little handout for you guys. You did receive a digital copy of this one. This one did not receive any updates. So it's the same one digitally as you got to print out. I printed out the other one, so I figured I'd go ahead and do that as well. So we have started, based on the conversation that we had, I want to say maybe November, about little things that we can do around the city for waste diversion and that sort of thing. And so I actually had a couple of coworkers mention that Keurig does a K-Cycle program. And so it's basically a box, it's prepaid. You throw your K-Cups in there. And I think it would be important to have the option to recycle those as well as the option to use reusable K-Cups. We have both. So we're utilizing both. But if you look at the little chart, it's actually, they don't just recycle the plastic, they also compost the grounds that they get as well. So it's a pretty great program. So we're piloting that amongst it's the public services, public admin, public works kind of main office back there. We're piloting that. Before we take it citywide, I wanted to work out any kinks and that sort of thing and make sure there's, I'm worried about, odor or anything like that. So, we're piloting that right now and it seems to be going pretty well. So I would hope that that's something that we can, offer to anyone who is interested, any offices. So,
And is that how the city makes coffee?
in some of the offices it is. There are some that have like a traditional coffee pot. We have reusable mugs and that sort of thing. We all kind of have our own back there. So it really it's kind of like office by office, so,
That's terrific.
yeah, yeah. I was excited about it. Yeah, I was excited about it because I like that the K-Cycle website offered that little calculator. It's kind of nice to see like how much is being diverted from the landfill and how it's being reused. So
And if the city starts using it, then, other companies and people at home could use it and send it in or have a bin someplace where they can drop it off, like recycling. I mean,
We have a
that's
couple-
terrific.
we have a couple people in the office who are even like bringing theirs in from home because they do it on the weekends and they're bringing theirs in from home and I'm like absolutely
That's great.
yeah,
It's
whatever we can
terrific.
do. So that was just it's a little one, but a million little things are going to add up.
Right.
And then the pickleball recycling program, I actually found this through the Southeast Sustainability Directors Network. They have a great listserv that you can get responses on or just share really interesting things that you found. And so, pickleball is a really hot sport right now. It's the fastest growing sport in America, I think. But the balls they're almost like a wiffle ball, but they don't actually compress. They'll even if they're dented, they will end up popping back out. So they actually take up a lot of space in landfills, comparatively to their weight. So we found a program that was shared through the SSDN listserv called P3P Cares. P3B.
That's hot, tongue twister.
It is. It's a lot. But we have that's what the bins look like. So we're working with our recreation director. Is that his title?
Superintendent.
Recreation superintendent. Thank you. And he was all for it and was like, I ordered one. We're good to go. So we'll hopefully next time we'll have a picture of it actually out at the courts, like our courts. This one is like a stock photo, but I wanted to show you what the bin looks like. So we ship those back periodically up to them and they handle the recycling of those so that it is diverted from the landfill. So
How does the ball get injured that it has to be recycled?
to be honest, I don't know enough about pickleball to accurately answer that. I'm not sure. Tommy knows.
I'm not a pickleballer, so this is secondhand. But we talked with Jamie about this, our recreation superintendent, and they just have wear and tear over time. Over time, they crack, or they get too many hits, and that's the most common is they get cracked or something like that. You can't play with them anymore, and they do have a finite life, and but they're plastic, so they were also trying to crush them and stuff like that. So when they were spent, and he said that in any given week they'll have multiple pickleballs that get thrown away. They do pickleball 3 days a week, I think now, in the recreation center. So it's a very popular, common, recurring group. They're all coming there to play indoors, and now they've got a place to dispose of their pickleball waste.
Terrific.
So just a couple little things. Little things that came up that were easy to implement, and I know there had been concern, expressed about, what we're doing within the city. So I just wanted to let you guys know that it was a priority, but also that we are doing absolutely everything that we can even in just little ways. So we're working on it. We're hearing you. We're implementing. So sometimes
I think
it's
adorable. I do. It's like these little cute things, and people should know that the city's doing. The commissions should announce it.
And it's relatively easy too.
Yeah.
The K cup, we just literally it's on the floor right underneath the Keurig. So it's very easy.
We have the refillable ones at home,
Yes, that's what I use as well.
and it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper.
Well, and you can, and it's you can use your own grounds and that sort of thing. So We like fresh ground coffee, so we grind our beans on the weekend and then use our reusable K-cups because we really only drink, and like we only drink like a cup a day, you know, so it ends up working out perfect, so, yeah.
Yeah, I hear the inventor of that was a little regretful when he realized how much was going to go into waste. You know, so the ones that we use are a Senseo machine, which is, you know, just soft pods. And I get them from Melita down in Clearwater. But
Okay.
I am so glad to hear that something is happening to help promote reuse or recycling of those.
I love that they compost the grounds. I think that's
Yeah,
fantastic too.
I
I
do
think that's just
too.
a really cool aspect of the program. It's not just the
Yes, I
plastic, it's the composting.
Tommy?
Just to be responsive to Dr. Mickett's inquiry, we're doing a BOC workshop with our whole board on Monday, and that's one of the items that we're presenting on. So we're giving an update on everything within the Public Services Department, and we have a sustainability update, and it includes some updates on these, you know, smaller piloting, you know, recycling programs, and so they'll be hearing about the K-cups and the pickleballs as well,
When is that happening?
Monday.
Okay. But that's not the annual presentation.
No.
No, this is just a working session with the city manager and the department heads for the board on focusing on what the various departments are working on throughout 2024.
So, Jordan, when you first came on and you spoke about things that you'd like to see, one of the things that I recall you mentioning, although it might have been a dream, that to have a city compost place, because then people can bring their coffee grounds there. Like,
Yeah.
we make ground coffee, we don't use those K-pop things. So, I mean, that's what triggered it off, but I think that people would really like that to, you know, have their, and for the city does a lot of planting and could use that compost. So anyway, I just want to remind,
I have not
That-
forgotten.
yeah, and I guess I didn't dream it.
You did not
But I
dream it.
could have.
I love composting because I mean it's one of I don't it's just easy and fun and like it's nice to repurpose, I guess, you know, something like because we have chickens at home, so like
Oh.
we also compost, you know, the litter from the coop and that sort of thing. So the feasibility assessment for the community-wide composting is a 2033 sustainability action item, but anything that's like higher dollar like that, like as funding becomes available. So like if we were to able to like secure a grant to like do that, you know, it's possible it could get bumped up. And I would like to do it with that one is the food study for wastage, you know, locally. So I think those go hand in hand as well. So I think those will work really well together. But I have not forgotten, and that's something that I personally love. I love waste diversion is like like one of my favorite things about
And
sustainability
So
practices.
personally, you know, we've tried to compost many times, but then it's like we put it in the bin and then it's like, okay, it just sits there. And then, well, what do we do with it? And then we stop composting. But I hate that. So if we had that, I could just bring it there and it would be used instead of
Ours
not.
is used because of our garden. You know, it's a really big part of growing a garden, but if you're not doing that,
Well,
yeah,
maybe
it
I can
helps with.
talk to you about, because we do have a garden, so maybe
yeah.
I'll talk to you about how to actually do it.
Sure.
Okay, great.
So
You're talking, the cost would be for investment in an anaerobic digester system, or what is?
the
What is
cost
the cost that we're talking about
The
in the
cost-
future?
So the action item itself, I'm looking at the short schedule, and it says a feasibility assessment for a community-wide composting. And we identified that as a relatively high dollar, well, you all, I guess, and the sustainability staff determined that was probably gonna be something a little more costly. And so I
Up, or, I mean, what aspect of it is,
the feasibility assessment might even just be looking at do we have a location? Do we have the staff? You know, all of those kind of like logistical things internally. I would assume it's part of that, but I would also assume that part of that is going to be if we do have a location and the staff to handle that, what are the next steps? What does that look like? Is it something that we can implement? Do we need to have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan? Those sorts of things. So, okay.
Yeah, and to your technical question on anaerobic digester, that's something that would be looked at in the feasibility study. You know, anaerobic digesters have their own benefits. They tend to, you can produce, methane for renewable energy. Most composting is a little different. You're aerating the stuff, so it's a different biological process, and your goal is a little different. You're trying to generate compost for like gardening purposes and landscape and that sort of thing. And the anaerobic digester is more energy focused, but that's the sort of evaluation you would do, like which technology would be most beneficial. They have different space requirements. They have different, maintenance requirements and operation needs and those sorts of things. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I promise I've not forgotten about that. So, would it potentially, I know we've talked to, I'll save that for staff comments maybe, or, next agenda items or another location maybe. Would it be all right to talk about just segue right into the schedule?
Upcoming schedule, thank you.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So, I know we discussed, this is an amended schedule from the one I sent out digitally, which is why I printed it. So we actually, the March option is what has changed. So we're hoping to bring you all an update on everything that's been going on with the sustainability plan action items in February. We're hoping to have some good updates for you all on what's been going on and that sort of thing, and where we're at with those and what that looks like. And sorry, I thought you were about to say something.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
And then in March, which is what has changed, planning and zoning is trying to determine their schedule right now for bringing the new comprehensive plan to all of the committees and updating them on what that looks like. So that is tentatively on the books for March. This whole schedule, it's subject, subject to change. But they're planning on that right now for an update on that. We have it penciled in as well for a budget review in April to go over the budget with you all as to where it's sitting, approval and that sort of thing, and what it looks like and what we're planning on, financing the next year, what projects. And then we're hoping by May we will have a final update on the vulnerability assessment. We have been going through some significant revisions on that, but we're hoping to have that to present to you all and maybe make some new goals based on the results of that. So there are a couple things that aren't on here quite yet, and we're working on a fleet electrification / EV master plan currently. We're trying to get that off the ground beginning of February. And our fleet department has been so wonderful to work with. We're just trying to figure out what are the barriers currently, like internally for us, like do we need staff, tools, et cetera, and how we cross those barriers. And that way we're setting ourselves up for success, not failure here. So we're trying to be very methodical in how we do this. So we're working very closely with Fleet and our grant manager as well to identify if we need funding, if we need, what that looks like. So hopefully that will be a summer update or catch up, if you will. But I just didn't want to put it on there because we have not gotten it off the ground yet. So yeah, that's where we're at for that. So can I answer any questions? Is there anything on there that you were expecting to see that I might have forgotten about, or
When are we doing the public launch?
I'm sorry.
Sustainability plan.
Okay.
And are printed copies available? And will they be available to the public? And I'm just wondering, for people that don't have access
Sure.
to computers,
As far as printing goes, I don't see any reason why we couldn't have some printed copies available in February and make those available in City Hall. That would be relatively straightforward.
Yeah. And if you all, as you were part of it, if you guys would like a binded copy for yourselves, I can bring those as well for you all.
Thank you.
You worked hard on it, so.
Are you presenting the annual update from the Sustainability Committee to the Board of Commissioners in March? And would that be, would it be appropriate, do you think, to have some hard copies there for members of the public?
Absolutely.
that are there?
I don't, sometimes I don't know about the internal workings, like what we can bring and not bring. So, I mean, if we're able to, like, I can absolutely facilitate that if it's, acceptable, I guess, to bring hard materials
Would
to
it
that
be
sort of thing.
better to let people sign, fill out an email link so that they can get it? I mean, if they're not real savvy about it, to at least have it sent to their email?
Sure.
Regarding the
Curious.
Sure. Regarding we do have that available on the website, so just providing an email with a link would be an easy way we can do that. We could maybe send out a Connect Harpin update for anyone who's, I'm fairly certain that we've already sent out a Connect Harpin update like over the summer after we adopted it, once it was posted on the website, but I can double check on that. And regarding the board update, that's something we'll check on. I know coming up you're right. I think in March that might have been an oversight here. We do need to do our annual update to the BOC from the committee. We'll double check on the dates for that, and we are planning we've had some internal discussions with the city manager that at some point in the next few agendas for the BOC that we're planning to do an update on sustainability in general, and most likely on updates on the plan. That was something that was requested by the board too, so we'll be working on that as well.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna do like a big
Yes,
launch thing. That's, I guess
I know.
maybe I misunderstood.
I mean, was my hope, is that we've worked on it for a long time, and I'm hoping that people that are interested would be inspired to come for a celebration of the completion and to ask questions and have it read. At least the sections explained and why we chose the various points that we felt were valid for our community.
Yeah, because I thought we'd even talked at one point about like pulling in like businesses and like having it at a place. Or,
Like at the Heritage Center.
I think that's
No?
it's ringing a bell, that we definitely wanted to have a public celebration, and I think that was the term that was used. And a celebration implies that people are, it's an engagement. So like the Knowledge and Nibbles or something like that, to where it's a specific date, time for people to come and do that, and we can all be there. They could ask questions of us, or,
No, I agree. We did have this discussion. We'll check back, look at the schedules, work with the other departments like Recreation that help us organize events, and report back in February.
okay.
great.
Because I think it would be wise to tie it to something that's already happening. So like trying to create a standalone event.
That's a good idea.
That, you know what I mean? So that like the publicity is already happening. Somebody, you know what I mean? Like another department's
Like Arbor
already
Day,
like,
or
yeah,
like the City Green Day or something like that. That would be great.
But we're not doing an Earth Day celebration this year. I think you said that in November. We're deferring that to EcoFest.
Yes.
And when does EcoFest happen?
to like August.
When it's hot,
That's
when it's
pretty
very
far
hot.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be best in the spring for something to be taking place. So I still think that Earth Day would be an appropriate launch if it's possible.
And the Garden Club would celebrate Earth Day and yeah.
So, when we were doing the surveys and having public meetings, remember, we weren't allowed to go. we all couldn't go.
Oh,
because
that's right.
There was some conflict if we were all there together, and there weren't minutes, and there weren't all this stuff. And there was this big
Sunshine.
discussion about it. So this sounds similar.
Yeah.
So, it's a very strange thing, but would you look into it and even see if it's possible for all of us to be in the same room talking about these issues? Maybe since it's already been passed, it would be okay, that we're not gonna vote on it, but would you look at the legality of us doing that?
We can review that for, because I know we do have events like the city clerk, I know, for example, puts on the sort of thank you event to all the committees, right? So obviously, all the committees can get together for like a social event, but there's a very strong, legal framework where you can't talk about anything policy-based, or anything that would be considered by the committee because it becomes a sunshine law violation because it's not noticed. But we can maybe have a discussion with the city clerk about what, creating a framework that would allow y'all to attend. Perhaps something simple would be have a strong staff update and have staff lead the presentations, and the committee could attend and participate and get to know everybody and thank everyone who participated. But as long as we're not having a general public discussion about policy, that perhaps that's something we could do.
That may have been why the Nibbles series was okay. Because we didn't really participate except in the audience.
Yeah, we'll have a discussion with the city clerk and make sure that whatever we planned is, we have a good system where no one can say sunshine law violations, but everyone's having fun and participating in expressing our excitement about the sustainability plan.
And it seems to me that it's really important to create an event with another event so that we don't have the event and people don't come. There needs to be a hook so that people will actually attend, hearing about a plan. Not all too exciting.
If I might
Right.
chime
I'm
in.
sorry, but it's not.
I just wanted to share some, like an update. The reason that I had a conversation with our recreation superintendent about Earth Day, and the reasoning was it's not been well attended in the past. So that was why we had opted initially to not do that. So I think your concerns are absolutely valid. We can research another piggyback event maybe.
Yeah, that was a discussion we've had in the last couple of weeks, actually, was, talking about Earth Day and, logistically, is this an event that we want to, how do we want to handle this event or defer it? And that's what we experienced the last time. We put a lot of work in, and unfortunately, there was just a lot of competing events at that exact same time. And so we were kind of competing with Dunedin and several other folks that were having very similar events, and we already have a very well attended and popular event in EcoFest right around back to school. So we just had that discussion, and Recreation just now laid out in the last couple of weeks has laid out their annual event schedule. So we'll go back and review with that, talk to our events folks, and let's see if there's a good event now that we've got the schedule nailed down for the year to potentially piggyback on, or find a way to, if not, if we would have to create a new standalone event, we would consider that as well.
Well, there is Arbor Day, and they are going to be giving away free trees, little.
I think that Arbor Day is combined with EcoFest as well.
Oh,
They did
We're
they
doing-
did the tree giveaway for EcoFest.
Yes, yeah.
and it's at
The Splash
Splash
Park.
Park, yeah.
what?
The Splash Park
Mm,
by the dog park at the end.
No, it's I thought it was in the park, Destin Park, the park where the MLK, they're going to plant a tree in that park. I think
That's just, the garden club is planting a tree at Dorset Park
Dorset Park,
for
but
Arbor Day, but I don't think that's a Arbor Day citywide celebration.
I saw the ad, and it said they were giving away little trees
Yes.
at Dorset Park,
Yes.
too.
Yes.
So can we do, is that, so that's not a city event?
That's like next week.
Okay.
It's very soon.
That's when Arbor Day is?
Tight
That's when they're
timeline.
planting the tree and for Arbor Day. But it's coming up within the next, because I remember I saw it on my calendar,
Yeah, and who's
hovering.
planting it?
the garden club.
The garden. Okay.
Yeah, we'll commit to go back, look at the annual schedule, and find a good event to nail down for the sustainability plan launch.
Okay.
Maybe just a simple celebration, a little party, instead of turning it into a big thing, just have like an hour-long party at the Heritage Museum or something. And,
But really promote it so that people come through and
Yeah.
are able to talk to the committee and the sustainability coordinator and
see if we can get
People
some
from
more
the
people
city.
interested in,
Might be a good
Free food
recruiting tool
alternates.
too.
Put free food.
We-
Maybe,
One other thing we are going to be doing some outreach on is the Citizens Academy is starting up relatively soon. If it hasn't already, I'd have to go back and double check the schedule. And we will be presenting some updates on the sustainability plan for the Citizens Academy attendees. So that'll definitely be a topic we'll be getting out there to folks that are interested in local government and want
That's
to learn more about
great.
what the city's doing.
That's good.
And when does that start?
if it hasn't started, I think it's in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it started the next couple of weeks. I've got the schedule for public services. We're a little bit later this year.
Where
because of the
can we
winter.
find that schedule? I mean, of events that are happening, is it just on the city website for events or?
We
connect-
can forward that to you after the meeting for sure.
The Citizens Academy specifically?
Oh, just all of the events that we have going that are already on the calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be part of the academy to go to the events, their events.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tend to
That's
view
a
the
good
Citizens
big
Academy.
group of people.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it. It was a big group of people.
Yeah. That's the intended goal, is to create a whole new pool of people to fill committees. So if we still have a vacancy coming up, by the time Citizens Academy's done, perhaps we'll find some good recruits. Although I think we are diverging a little bit from the schedule.
Right.
Could I just wanted to ask, so if we can't find like a sustainability themed event to piggyback on, like if we just don't have anything that's that would make sense, to piggyback on, does it sound like you all would like to see possibly like a meet and greet hour for sustainability with like heavy hors d'oeuvres and punch? I don't know, but like something along those lines where it's a little more,
I think that would be great.
fun,
And I
okay.
honestly think that we should do it before, like the weekend before Earth Day, if
Sure.
it's possible. And, I feel really sad that we dropped that because we only did it for 2 years. And when things don't catch on instantly, I mean, it's like a new business. Things don't always catch on the first year. But I did not feel that it was a failure. I was there, and I felt that the traffic was decent for year 2 of an event. So I don't know where the impression came that it was a flop, because I didn't feel that at all.
I think maybe the feedback too was that it was just, they're used to, the feedback came from they're used to EcoFest, I think almost had almost 1,000 attendees.
Okay.
And I think this most recent Earth Day had less than 100.
the one at the parking lot of the library.
Yeah.
You were there. Yeah.
We did ride and drives.
Yeah.
I think that in February, when you review what action items have been accomplished, because if we're going to have them, one of the things I think you want to showcase are bring the pickleball thing and bring the coffee recycling, and what are the things that have been accomplished. That's what people want to see. They don't really want to listen to you go on and on about this action item. But they want to, have visuals about, maybe about what's happened, and wow, look at that. I mean, I think these things are the type of practical things people get. And and sort of, and there's all types of things.
Yeah.
And there's one I want to talk about, but I don't know when I can.
And committee comments.
Okay.
So items for the next meeting agenda. Do you have thoughts?
Action items update.
Yes. Action items update.
Yeah,
Yeah, here.
that'll be our time to talk about,
Okay.
you know, what
And
we're,
will that take the whole meeting?
that'll probably be like a good substantive update at this point. Just with the way a lot of the major initiatives, especially the action items for like year one and like some of the stuff coming in from year two, we're just at like kind of an odd time. We're at like 80% on a lot of projects and we're just kicking off a lot of stuff. So by February, we should have a lot of projects kind of like in the works and starting and where we're headed. The one other consideration that we'll probably work with Denise on when we do our prep meeting for agenda setting as we get closer is we had talked with planning and zoning, there was some potential that they would want to come in February instead of March. Most recent it's March, but we're kind of also holding that a little bit open just in case. They're doing a round of work with the presentations on the comp plan with a variety of different sustainability, or not sustainability, a variety of the different citizen advisory committees. So they're working on scheduling that right now.
So can I ask a question about that?
Sure.
For the planning and, for the P and Z comp plan update that we have in March, is it like them just presenting what it is? Or is there an opportunity to like make modifications based on our feedback?
I mean, I think that's the purpose is to solicit, an opportunity for feedback as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty close to final, but they're presenting, this is what we've been working on, because I believe they did a comp plan update pretty close to this time last year, right? And so that was kind of their first go around. This is them rolling out like, hey, we're getting very close to finalizing this. This is getting close to our final work product. They're hoping to have this sort of all wrapped up this spring and adopted, and then go straight into ordinance development over the summer is the kind of, I don't want to, steal their thunder. They'll be providing the detailed update on scheduling, but that's, I think at this point we're going to be pretty close to final, but there will be some opportunity for comment. Obviously, that's the purpose of the committee is to
Okay.
provide guidance and advisement. So
I'll plan on as well bringing an update on what we're gonna do for an Earth Day, like even just like maybe a Friday meet and greet. If, like I said, if there's not a good event to piggyback on, I'll go that direction. I'll bring you all an update on where we're at with that, and we can get it on the calendar and that sort of thing, if that's acceptable. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Has there ever been any thought about combining Earth Day celebrations, like with Palm Harbor and Dunedin, and rotating them? Because one of the things about North County is that there's all these small municipalities, and we're all, like with Earth Day, I mean, I've been to them in Dunedin, right, and they're pretty well attended. Like, we're all doing the same things, and the same types of people are there. So why not try to just have one big one and rotate it? 1 year it's in Dunedin, 1 year it's here, 1 year it's in Palm Harbor, 1 year it's in
that's a great idea.
Ozona. It's fun to go to Ozona. So we can have more bang for the buck, as they say. And then we can get to know each other and have partnerships and, not just stay in our little silos.
no, that's an excellent comment. Yeah, we have a good working relationship with, especially Dunedin and Oldsmar and some of the other coordinators. So.
Yeah, Oldsmar would be fun.
There's the Pinellas Sustainability and Resiliency Network.
Right.
So that's all of the local sustainability professionals are a part of that. So next meeting with them, I think we do monthly calls at this point. I can bring that up as an option maybe for 2025, and just and even gauge feedback, because I know like even working together amongst municipalities is maybe a little more complicated sometimes. And if they have a really good one, they might not be willing to like share or even give it up. But I will bring it up and gauge interest from them on that.
Right, or we create a new thing where we all are together. North County sustainability.
Yeah, there's definitely some pride of ownership with all these city events. Everyone likes to have their own Christmas event. Everyone likes to have their own, 4th of July thing. Everyone, Earth Day might be that, but we could definitely have the conversation.
Yeah, well, we need to think differently.
Yeah, the earth belongs, we belong to the earth, and
Yeah.
all of us do. And there are no borders in that sense with our planet. Okay, staff comments? Do you have any?
We are interviewing interns next week, so
Hey,
getting a little help would be great. So we're doing that next week. So hopefully we'll have an update for you all after that.
What happened to our intern?
He graduated.
I know, but what did he do? Does he
He-
have a job?
Alex, right?
Alex,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
He was job hunting, and I believe he moved to the Pacific Northwest. He had a desire
Yeah.
to
I remember
go
him
see a
saying
new
he
part of the
was.
country, and so
Yep.
I know he was doing some interviews out that way. I never that was after he'd already moved on, so I'm not sure what happened with that, but seems
Good.
like he had some good leads, and I'm fairly certain he's in the Pacific Northwest now, but most likely working in sustainability.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's the big one. I already brought up the update on the EV master plan. So that's all I've got.
okay. And committee comments, please?
I have one. You want to go first?
Oh, go ahead.
Good. So, this is just a comment about the city. So, for the last few days, they've been on our street cleaning storm drains, and which is a real sustainability thing because our street floods. I mean, the flooding is partly why I want to talk to you about the bridge. There's just this terrible flooding. And so I think, why are they cleaning them now? Why didn't they clean them before? But at least but they're doing it. And they have these big suction things and, they're really, and I think they replaced some pipes and things. But that, to me, is something to honor in this whole action plan, even though it's not in our plan, that there's things that the city's doing that are really for sustainability. And cleaning those storm drains, they've got to make a big difference because we know how much stuff goes down them. And I've lived there 5 years or so. I've never seen them do it before, come with a big, because they've been there, a few days. So I just want to say that that's a really good thing. I don't know why it's not done more often, but I was really happy to see that. So I guess it's probably, is it citywide, or are they just doing it in places where people have sort of railed
Drainage
against the city because they
Squeaky
deal
wheel,
with
if
the
you will.
flooding? But I hope it's citywide, and that it'll be routine maintenance.
Sure. Yeah, no, I know the stormwater department has a pretty robust, plan. They're required to, maintain their system to make sure people don't flood. So if you're interested in how that works, I could maybe put you in contact with the stormwater supervisor, perhaps?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I
Or
think
ask him for like an update.
they did keep their trucks on. Just wanted to say that.
I will give one more shout out to the stormwater department. They were the first ones to start doing like the vehicle wraps with the environmental messaging in the city. So that was, they led the way on that, and all, the forget exactly what they say, but they've got the cool game fish
Only
on the
rain down the drain.
only rain down the drain. All the drains go to the river or something of that
Right,
nature. So
And I'm fairly certain that that was a grant in partnership with the Tampa Bay Regional Planning Council. So we can definitely thank them for that relationship that we have with them. So
But the more things like that that can be done in our city helps to maintain it and sustain it as a viable place to live.
certainly.
Dory, did you have something?
Yes. So we've talked about this before, and I just wanted to like re-up it. And it may be because I don't think that like one and done, like now everybody knows that we have a sustainability plan. It's gonna like be a constant drip, drip, drip
Yeah,
to get the
yeah,
message out.
for
But
sure.
I would love to see, and I know that Solar United Neighbors, I think it's them that does it, but there's a national like solar home tour the first week of October typically. And I think it would be awesome to do like a sustainability tour of Tarpon. So individual homeowners that have solar, or if somebody did some weatherization, or if a business does composting or whatever, like I just think that would be a really cool way to have like, or if they have a Florida friendly yard, you know, to be able to like have an all day event, open house kind of thing where people go around and see all of the different cool things that are happening in the city that their neighbors are doing. I think it would help build community in addition to being able to be another opportunity to talk about the sustainability plan.
It's a great idea.
Yes.
So I think if we're like trying to hook it up with the national event in October, because then I think it would help also with promotion, because like they have a website that where people go on and register and stuff. Or we don't even have to do it that way, but I think October is far enough out that we could maybe make that happen for this year.
sure.
That's wonderful, because that's the sort of thing that people will want to do.
Yeah,
Because they
sure.
want to look at other people's houses.
Because I've done like historic
I mean,
tours,
that's it.
and they're cool. Like it's
I've done
really-
several, not even
we're like,
sustainability related.
oh.
It's still very interesting.
The home
And then
tours. Yeah.
that's a time to add the plan, hand out stuff, have these things around. They can put their correct things in. You know, that's terrific. That's a really, really good idea.
Yeah,
I
it
love it.
spontaneously happens at our house all the time because of the garden.
Oh, yeah, your house would be on the tour for sure.
for sure.
Just the garden draws a lot of interest. People see bananas
Yeah.
and they see moringa and they see all these things growing. And sometimes we've had people knock on our door, you know, because they want to know if we are selling any moringa or we're selling any star fruit or and we usually end up giving it away because we've got so much. And I've been selling a lot of star fruit from one little tree to the place that I work, Nature's Food Patch, and it's it's not certified organic, but it's definitely organic. It's farmer's market. It's considered farmer's market organic. But I think
love that.
yeah, we could all, point out the areas where we think that would be applicable, for visiting people's homes and visiting what's happening. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's
you.
golden.
Yeah.
Good job, Dory. I will say too, we have a really good working relationship with our the Solar United Neighbors, like our local person. She is actually a Tarpon resident. We are another, I guess, diving back to staff comments real quick. We are a part of the solar co-op again. So
Oh, good.
yeah, just a quick aside. So yes, absolutely. I think that's a fantastic idea, and I will absolutely look into that.
Robin?
Well, I was going to say what Dory suggested, but
Oh,
thanks, Dory.
I suck.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Any others?
Yeah, I'm just excited that we're in the beginning of a new year that feels very energetically positive and hopeful.
Yes.
I see a lot of good things are going to be happening this year.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
we've got a lot of big plans.
Yeah.
So, on that note, anybody have anything else to share? Because this will be the record shortest meeting that we've
Oh
ever
my
had.
gosh, holy cow.
Would you like a motion to adjourn?
I would love that.
I would make a motion to adjourn our meeting.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. This was great.
Tommy, can you wait so to
Yes.
talk to me? Thank you.
Bridge.
Yeah, what, do we have a date of when it's starting or no?
Bob's the project manager on that one. I know they're getting close. The county's leading the project.
Yeah, I know that.
So I'd have to double check with Bob on the exact date. It's moved.